Alright, so we're gonna take a look at on how to make flipbooks or texture atlases with Gimli Environmental Tools, like the ones you see on screen, and like this one too. So we're gonna jump into After Effects now so we can cover some things. Okay, so here I am in After Effects. So this is the little animation that I made. And some things to keep in mind, even though I made this animation in 16:9 aspect ratio, I had to resize it later on into a 4K texture so it can be properly packed later on. So when you add this, when you add your animation into the render queue, make sure to come to the output module and resize it into a 4K or a 2K texture. After that, you can render it out into an image sequence and make sure that your project name has no numbers in it. That's very important for this to work. Okay, so we're gonna jump into Gimli Environmental Tools and we're gonna import this entire image sequence in the project and we're gonna render it into a flipbook. Okay, so I loaded the Gimli Environmental Tools and I imported my image sequences. And I just made this small empty map in here so I can load in the blueprint. So let's navigate to the blueprints folder and drop in the flipbook packer in here. And I'm just gonna make it bigger and orient it correctly like this to the camera. So next we need to load in our textures in the texture sequence variable in here. So I'm gonna navigate to the folder that I made and I already imported all of my textures. So I'm just gonna select all of them with Ctrl A and I'm gonna just drop them into the texture sequence in here. So before we create the flipbook, we need to play in editor. And then we can hit create flipbook. Okay, so it packed all of the textures in here and it was an 8x8. So we can stop the simulation and then we can go to the export render in here. And we can check it out. Okay, if it's good, we can just go ahead, right click on it, create static texture, and then just rename it and then export it or migrate it to our main project. Okay, so I'm gonna test this one more time with a bigger texture sequence. So I'm just gonna delete everything in here and I need to navigate to my content folder. So this is a bigger texture sequence. There's 196 images in here. So I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to drop them into the texture sequence. And again, I'm going to simulate an editor. Now we have to wait for the preparing textures to finish. Okay, once that's done, we can just create flipbook now. So each one of these images is 8K and this is not possible with other softwares that I have tested. Okay, now we can stop this. Again, we can go to the export render and we can check it out in here. Okay, if you are happy with it, you can just right click on it again and create static texture. So that's pretty much it. This is how you can create flipbooks or texture atlases with Gimli Environmental Tools. It's very fast and much easier than any other softwares.